You're wondering whether or not you should actually spend $49 on Paul Xavier's 14-day filmmaker course. Today I'm going to give it to you straight. The short version is absolutely worth it. You're going to save so much time. All of the content is out there on YouTube for free, but if you don't have the time, it's only $49, so it's a pretty cheap course, and for the content that they teach you in the course, I think it's absolutely worth it. Try to learn all the content that's in the course for free on YouTube. It would probably take you, I'd say, anywhere from 100 to 200 hours, somewhere in that range. About buying the course, just buy it. I mean, it's not that much. Even if you're making like minimum wage, you can basically pay for the course in less than 5 hours of work, so just buy the course. Alright, getting into the long version, we're going to be reviewing the entirety of the course. I'm going to go day by day on what I learned, how I felt about each section, basically just going straight through it. So day one, you go over all the gear. So basically, he shows you if you have a low budget, this is the gear you should buy. If you have a medium budget, this is the gear you should buy. If you have a very high budget, this is the gear you should buy. He also advocates that you can use your phone and use different apps. So those different apps, you can manipulate different features in the phone, like ISO and aperture and shutter speed, and it will make your video look almost just as good as using an actual camera. So going over day two, he teaches you about focal length, frame rates, very important fundamentals of dealing with a camera and learning how to make different films or short videos. So going over to day three, he goes over composition, shows you actually how to set a scene, and he also teaches you, basics like the rule of thirds and how to actually frame a scene so it looks good. And it's going to be movement. So this day is all about movement, how to do those leading in shots when you're doing different films or even like little short videos. He basically just shows you how to position the camera in the right way when you're trying to capture movement. Day 5, lighting. This day, in my opinion, is the most important because if you have poor lighting, then everything else is going to look bad. Even if you have the most expensive camera in the world, if you have bad lighting, your scene's just not going to look good. I think lighting is the most important day of this entire course. Without lighting, if a scene's lit bad with bad lighting, it really shows. Day 6, it's audio. In day 6, we learn that audio is actually half of the viewing experience. So if you have bad audio, nobody's gonna watch your video because it hurts. Like I didn't believe it at first that audio was half the viewing experience, but I put on like a YouTube video with bad audio and good video, and it was terrible to watch. But I watched a YouTube video with bad, like semi-bad video and really good audio, and it felt fine. So audio is very key. Audio is a big part of the viewing experience, even if you don't realize it. Audio is huge. So on day 7, he teaches you how to be organized with your workflow. So pretty much all of your assets, like all of your images, all of your sounds, they each have a different folder. All of your raw footage goes into a certain folder. He basically teaches you how to be organized when you're video editing or basically like doing anything film related. He shows you how to be organized. If you're not organized, in the long run, it's going to take you a lot longer to finish projects. So I think that this day is actually really essential because if you listen to what he says, it will cut the time it takes you to edit a video down into half, just because you can get to all the assets that you want to get to very quickly because they're in their own organized folders. Okay, moving on, day 8, he goes over Premiere Pro, and pretty much he shows you the basics of Premiere Pro. I would say this day in the course is, in my opinion, pretty weak, but the thing is, he had to cover an entire program in one short session, so Premiere Pro is very vast, and you're not going to learn everything in like a 2-hour video. I like that he gives you the fundamentals of how to actually use it and how he uses it, and yeah, so it was pretty helpful. I currently use Premiere Pro. I think it's a great program. So continuing on with day 8, he also has editing tutorials on Final Cut Pro, and I've personally never used Final Cut Pro before, and I thought the info was alright, like it just shows you the basics, but if you guys were looking for that, it's in the course. So day 9 he goes into intro of After Effects, and the thing is with this is he shows you the very basics of After Effects, but kind of like day 8 with Premiere, he can only go the very surface level things, and it kind of gives you an idea of what the program's actually used for. And After Effects is really cool, but the thing is, After Effects on itself, you could probably take a course on After Effects itself, and that would be an over 200-hour course. After Effects and Premiere are both very wide programs that you can do a lot of different things in, and there's so much to learn in those programs, so I can't really knock him on it, but he doesn't go that in deep, but he does go over it. So day 10 he goes over job shadowing. Paul Xavier used to be a guy who would go to different clients, different businesses, and he'd basically say, hey, I can make this commercial for you and it's going to generate leads. So I think that's why he included that in his course. So basically, if you guys want to make money off of making an ad for a business and then basically getting paid for making the ad for the business, then that's exactly what he does on day 10. He shows you step by step on how to make these different commercials and different advertisements. So day 11, he shows you how to make a script for a commercial, again for an advertisement for a client. So the thing about this is, if you're not interested in making advertisements for other businesses, then day 11 you could skip, but it is good information. So on day 12 he shows you how to make great B-roll, which is awesome because B-roll is very important. He also shows you how to recruit different people for a commercial that you're making for a business owner, but how to recruit these people for free, so you basically don't have any cost occur to yourself, which is pretty cool. In conclusion, I think Paul's course is amazing. My only critiques is some sections it might not be suited for you, but I think this course is a very great general course that you can use to jumpstart your career in film or even just making YouTube videos. Overall, I think it's a great course, and I think you guys should definitely buy it. Thank you for staying this long into the review.